Waffles on Friday mornings. He'll be on this Friday and talking about the weekend movies. And he says this is going to be a very big weekend. A lot of big movies are coming out this weekend for the summer. But Andrew, have you seen the Captain? Is it Captain America?
No, but this is one of the ones we want to see.
Okay, it's a good one.
Jim
and there's
Montanelli
a
saw it.
few issues. First of all, I'm not a comic person, and nor is my wife. And I felt a little lost. Like maybe we should have known things. Like when somebody pops up, you're like, "Oh, that's Captain Blueshot."
You got to be reacting when the two people in the front row are like, "Oh my god,
right,
I knew it!" And that's
when
when you just join along.
There were certain times during the movie we didn't react when other people did, and we were just looking at ourselves. And I'm like, "Have a little more popcorn; it'll be fine." And you just keep. But it was still a really good movie. But what I noticed is. And when you see this, and maybe I don't know if this is what this millennial generation, the new generation, and we're designing these movies and all of this stuff for a different audience. But for me, it was a little rough to follow because the quick shots. And I understand, we've heard about where we're kind of an attention deficit society, so things have got to move. If it isn't moving, kids today aren't going to pay any attention. But this was moving so fast. I could, like the fight scenes and stuff, there was so much movement and so many different shots. I was having a hard time following along. And I don't know, can
I'm the
somebody
same way.
who's 20 sit there and watch it and like soak it all in?
Yeah.
But because I'm 50, I'm having a tough time with it.
Yeah, I don't know the characters
I gotta
either.
ask Willie this question, but it to me is the science behind all this. I wonder if there is a science behind it.
Yeah.
I think you enjoy it more if you know the history.
Well, it's not the history issue. It's the quick shots I'm talking about. I totally understand. I would enjoy it more if I knew what the hell was going on, and I didn't. But I'm talking about these quick shots to the point where it's almost like, are they doing that to make the fight scene look better? And they don't have to use as many special effects? Is it a cheap way of getting around the special effects, or is it because they know that a 19-year-old is going to go in there, and if it's not quick shots, they're going to lose interest?
Willie's kind of suggested before that sometimes that's done to cover poor fight scenes.
Yeah, I totally agree. And here you are; these are supernatural.
Yeah.
How about I'm sitting there? We've gone through all of this stuff. You've got a woman who this is 1,000 times true. You've got a woman who takes a ball and is able to like throw it at somebody and move people with her hands. You've got Iron Man or whatever was flying around in the suit. You've got another one that's able to turn into somebody else. And then all of a sudden there's a scene where the guy's running and he kind of jumps up and he knocks the guy over, and it's just completely crazy. The girl behind is like, "Oh yeah, like that would happen." So I'm like, okay, did you just see the scene where she took her hand and the fireball came out of her hand and she moved the guy like 50 feet? This isn't real.
That was
the fact that superheroes are flying around.
Yeah. She bought everything in the movie. She bought everything except for this one scene, and she's like, "Yeah, really? Like that's gonna happen."
That's what bothered me about the first Man of
I
Steel
almost
movie.
turned around. I almost had to turn around, but I just kept eating my popcorn.
So we got the first Man of Steel movie, which was terrible, and people can argue all you want, but I'm right on this. They have this, and I don't mean to spoil the ending, but you're not missing much. They're having this Superman and whoever the villain is, I forget the name of the villain, but they're having this huge intergalactic battle. I mean, they're fighting in New York City 1 second, and going to San Francisco, causing billions of dollars in property damage, just totally destroying everything with this fight. And then when it's all said and done, he kills him by snapping his neck.
Yeah,
I'm like, are you
Why did you have to go
kidding
through
me?
all that? I know.
Meanwhile, the mayor of the cities are like, "Superman, we appreciate the help, but
well,
you got $1 million to fix all this stuff."
If it was that way, the comic book would only have one page, and it wouldn't be a comic book; it'd be a cartoon. So it doesn't work that way. Casey Anthony in the news. Did you see the latest that came out on this?
I didn't.
That she, of course, she was the accused child killer, right?
Yes.
Did you see how she paid her attorney? Now, I don't know if this is true. It's being alleged that he was paid in, let's say, relations. See that story? Yeah, they're saying that
I thought she was
private
pregnant.
investigator hired by Casey's lawyer, Jose Baez, in her murder case, claimed that he learned that Anthony was trading sex for legal representation after a TV show requested an interview with her that she didn't want to do in 2008. He called the network saying they would have to take a rain check, hung up on the phone. You owe me 3 moments, if you will.
Wow.
Is what was said.
Wow.
So is that possible? It's out. I don't know if there's any repercussions on something like that, but it is certainly out. And I probably don't have time to get to the rest of this. All right, next hour, Phil is coming in. HCCC, Herkimer College, I should say, is offering a new class. Wait till you find out what this class is. Yeah, interesting. And Bill Cosby in the news. We have a former prosecutor talk about what Cosby is up against, if he's up against anything. Coming up, WIBX.